Immediately after this Carolina game, I slept for 3 hours, woke up, drove to the airport at 4 in the morning, picked up my family, came home, and then I've been kind of getting back to it since. But yeah, let's go back through the last 3 games, starting with the one against Carolina, which was a home loss. The Carolina Hurricanes won 3-1. It was not a good game. We got goalied by a 3rd string goalie. Spencer Martin, congrats to you. You're like a 4th string goalie on this Carolina Hurricanes team, and you goalied us. Congratulations. It's a theme, and that's typically what happens to, 3rd or worse string goalies against us, so fantastic. And that one goal was our first one. Marchessault is able to bury one because Wass streams up the ice, he pokes the puck loose from the defensive zone. They have a 2-on-1 rush. He sends it over to Barbashev. Barbashev tries to shoot it. It's saved, or Barbashev missed wide, I'm not really sure. Puck ends up behind the net. Wag grabs it again, sends it back in front. Marchessault is there to bury home this goal. 1-0 Vegas. Obviously this doesn't last. To start the second period, a very similar looking play, except it's a 2-on-2. A little bit. Seth Jarvis leaves it off for Svechnikov, who goes in, and then it's a 2-on-1. But the 2 is for Vegas. And Martinez falls over. Petro tries to cover, and he is not able to get there fast enough. Svechnikov backhands this one past Hill to make it a tie game 1-1. Really not a good goal to allow if you're Hill, but like the defensive breakdown and stuff in front of him, sure. It is an impressive shot. A backhanded, goes straight underneath the bar on the far side, yeah. And yet Carolina seemed to be mostly dominating play because Vegas just getting goalied and all that jazz. And to start the third period, Vegas is on the power play. But you already know they don't score because I already told you it was 3-1. In fact, this is where Carolina scores their second. Seth Jarvis, Miramana bobbles the puck on the point, and it's just Jarvis off to the races. He's got a couple of guys on him, but beats them there, muscles his way to the puck, and is able to lift this one over Hill to make it 2-1. 5 minutes later, Nietzsche streams up. It's a 3-on-2. He sends it over to Kotkaniemi, who then sends it on, and it's similar to these other goals that have been scored against goalies. The one against Connor Ingram, and then the one last game against Hill, where this one goes off of the defenseman's stick, and it just flies over and past Aiden Hill, doesn't know where it is, lands behind him, and then Stefan Nason's able to tip it back in, and it's a goal for 3-1 Carolina. And of course, 6-on-5, we're not able to do anything. But hey, we didn't allow an empty net goal, so, improvement. Then we move on to the President's Day afternoon game against the San Jose Sharks. In San Jose, Logan Thompson making the start, which it's his first since before the All-Star break. And Mason Morelli is making his NHL debut, which is fantastic. Good for him. He is a 28-year-old. Undrafted center, left shot, and he's been grinding his way up in the lower leagues to get to this point, and just hats off to him. He's 6 months older than me, so that means I've still got time, right? And this game is exactly what it should have been against the San Jose Sharks. Just an absolutely dominating 4-0 win. Yeah! Vegas absolutely drowning the first 3 minutes. San Jose had like 3-4 shots on net actually that were saved by Thompson. Fantastic saves too, but they had like 3 also go off the post immediately. Anyway, to get out of that, Zach Whitecloud behind the goal line with an amazing just up the ice feed to Michael Amadio, who has a breakaway all alone. And he absolutely buries it. And it's a 1-0 Vegas Golden Knight lead. A couple of minutes later, Vegas Golden Knights make it 2-0. Puck gets shot on, saved, cycled around, Stone back to Martinez on the point, sent on, and then Carlson tries to bat it after the initial couple of saves, and he's able to still find this puck wide open and alone. Not wide open, but like he was being shot, and he finds the puck by itself and knocks it in past Blackwood to make it 2-0 Vegas. Less than a minute left in the first. Vegas on the power play. They've been on the power play for a bit, so it's the second unit, and Morelli at center on this unit. He wins the face-off and sends it back. Martinez grabs it, sends it over to Petro. Petro skates in and he passes it. He doesn't shoot, he passes it perfectly on the tape to Morelli, who's able to tip this one past Blackwood for his first NHL goal in his first NHL game on the power play. Do we need that? We definitely need that. Our power play stinks. and that is just perfect. So happy for him to be able to get this goal. That was just scripted. Fun fact, Mason Morelli is the first Vegas Golden Knight to wear the number 11 in an official game. And his night isn't done. In the second period, with like a minute, where I'm just skipping straight to this point, but Mason Morelli sends it over to Martinez, who skates up with it, and then sends a perfect pass over to Keegan Kolzar, who's at the net and just tips it back in past Blackwood to make it 4-0 Vegas. And that is the story of this game, basically, because the rest of the night it was just shut down. Vegas didn't really, you know, they tried a couple of times, but the Vegas Golden Knights just won this game in a feel-good game because of Mason Morelli, but also just it felt good to win like that. And even though it was against the worst team in the league, which, whatever, at this point, we swept them again in this year. So fantastic. Now, tonight's game, boy. They made me believe for just the tiniest amount of time. Vegas played an abysmal first 40, and we found ourselves going into the third down 4-1. Not good. Just absolutely abysmal play. Aiden Hill letting in 2 goals that he, there are defensive mishaps that happen in front of them, so you can't place the entirety blame on him, but those are still soft goals allowed. You gotta make a save. That's the job, right? And yes, I would say the exact same. I love the guy, and he won us the Stanley Cup, and he's still a phenomenal goalie, but he is in a funk where the last 3 games that he's played, counting tonight, he has let in some stinkers, and it's not good, and we need to ride Logan Thompson for at least the next little bit, especially after how well he played against San Jose. That was a phenomenal performance. It was a shutout. It was a great game. And then the followed, I know we're on the second half of a back-to-back, and like I said, defensive breakdowns. Paul Cotter tried to, I don't even know what with this puck, but it wasn't even a turnover because we didn't get possession, but it was on its way out, and Evangelista grabs it, skates up, and he kind of fakes the shot and then shoots it, and then it's a short side rip that goes past the glove of Aiden Hill, and you'd like him to make that save, 100%. And I think that's not an unreasonable ask either. But hey, we're able to get it back. Alex Pietrangelo with an absolute rip. Gas that one up, I'm sorry. And it goes far side, past Lankinen and in. And yet, with less than a minute left, the guy who will be this jersey for me, Cody Glass, former Vegas first overall, first franchise draft pick, 6th overall in the 2017 draft, is able to bury it. I love this dude still. I really wanted him to work in Vegas, and I root for him, and just not against us. So that sucked, honestly. And we go into the second down 2-1, and the second period was worse. Vegas could not get anything going. Our power play is abysmal. I don't know how to fix it. It's not my job to. The guys it's just been awful most of our existence, and it's the personnel's changed, the coaches, I don't know what it is. We won the cup. McCarron, then not the airport, the player. It's always going to be the McCarron airport to me. With the puck in the slot, rips it on. Craig Smith is battling with Haig, absolutely just topples him over. Tips it past Hill to go in. It's a tip, barely. It didn't change directions at all, really. Or speed for that matter, but it was traffic in front. Vegas is on the power play to start the third. William Karlsson, great goal to pull us within 2. And then it kind of died after that because the Predators get a power play, and it just ruined all the momentum that we had just tried to build up. And then with about 3 minutes left, we pull Aiden Hill, and there's this opportunity where the puck is on Cotter's stick, and he tries to pass it over to Barbashev to bury it on the far side, and Cotter gets kind of tripped or whatever, but the puck just goes over into the corner. Martinez grabs it, sends it on, it bounces off of Lankinen and to Amadio with a wide open net, buries it. We're within 1. Yeah, great. Oh man, I'm believing, and it immediately diminished because Gustav Nyquist gets an empty netter. Figured we would lose, but the fact that we pulled within 1 just to blow it at the last minute, just So we lose 5-3. Vegas had this opportunity where they got the puck in deep, but we didn't pull Hill again after this point. And then there was a stoppage of play, offensive zone face-off, and we call a timeout and then pull Hill, why? You already wasted a bunch of time not pulling him earlier. You gave up, and then you have the audacity to say, oh no, we're still trying, and there's less time. What are you doing? Two more notable things. Shea Theodore's back. Yeah, in this game, and he looked good. He got an assist, which is what I thought would happen. If you check out the live stream on the Pro Sports Fan app, I said it in there. Jakob Tremin, who fought Braden McNabb when my wife and I went to the game on New Year's Eve last year, laid an open ice hit on Mark Stone, nowhere near the puck, was called for interference. That was what that power play was to end the second and start the third. Mark Stone was out the rest of the game. We literally just got Theodore back. Yikes. Just yikes. Even if we'd come back, tied it, won it, got a point, I don't care. I would have been still disappointed from this game. Like, it would have been a bad game for sure, because the first 40, it would make it sting less. But no, once Stone was out, nope. I really didn't care. There was a point earlier in the game where Wild Bill went down the tunnel because he got hit by Evangelista, and it was a head contact. It was a low, it was a bad hit. Keegan Colzar blocked a shot. There was just so many different opportunities tonight where we had people, forward specifically, that looked like they could be injured. Not good. To recap, the last three, I'm gonna take this off because I don't want to get injured. Like, we had the San Jose Sharks game, but you gotta take that with a grain of salt because they're the worst team in the league. But Vegas, after beating Edmonton, great. Beating the Coyotes, you should do that. And not playing well against Minnesota, Carolina, and the Predators. Aiden Hill has had 3 straight games. Like, we need to ride Thompson for a little bit. We play again on Thursday against the Maple Leafs, and hopefully, with Thompson in net, we're able to get the win. Either way, whoever's in net, I'm going to root for the win. But that's going to be it for games 54, 55, and 56. This is Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.